Welcome to this Pilates workout, where the focus today will be on improving technique and building strength. So let's have you begin by lying on your back with your knees bent, your feet hip distance apart. And you're gently just going to start to rock the pelvis slowly forwards and backwards, just releasing a little bit into your lower back, lower part of the spine, and then place your hands onto your lower abdominals. Settling somewhere between those 2 points, so neither pressing the back into the mat or arching it away. And let's really focus on your breathing here. Nice, wide, full breaths in through your nose, out through the mouth. Just taking that breath at your own pace, wide, full into the back and the sides of the body. And then reaching up the arms, we're going to go to some arm circles. Slowly taking the arms over the head, circling them around, back down by the sides of your body. We're going to go for 5 each way. So let's reach the arms over, inhaling, exhaling back by the sides. Good stretch with the arms, wide circles, and then changing the direction. As you go over the head, go for 4. Nice, good circles through those shoulders, mobilizing the shoulder joints. 2 more. And then last one, just resting the arms down by your sides. Just mobilizing the shoulder blades now. Shrug the shoulders up to your ears. Feel a little bit of tightness and then really release them. Slide the hands down the mat towards your feet. A couple more of these just to get, again, a little bit of movement in those shoulders. Then we're going to look at the positioning of your head. Keep the back of the head in contact with the mat. And like you're saying yes, just gently nod the chin, not crunching the chin into the chest. Little head nods, preparing us to lift the head off the mat, if that feels good for you in a moment. A couple more just little nods. And release. Now let's take the hands under the head. Place the thumbs right at the base of the skull so the head is really well supported, and with that little head nod, lift the upper body up. You're not coming up too high. Your aim is to keep your bottom rib down in contact with the mat. Pelvis stays neutral, so you're not crunching the back into the mat as you lift. And feeling as if you're sliding your ribs down towards your pelvis as you lift. Your eye line will travel with you towards the fronts of your legs. Try and breathe out gently as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Now here we're going to start to lift our legs. So gently raise one leg up, and with a little imprint of your lower back, you're going to raise your other leg up to meet it. Now lift the upper body up again, and then tap one foot down, and the other foot. And then straighten one leg and the other leg. And then lowering your head back to the mat. Let's try that again with that little nod of the chin, head supported, lift, tap. The left foot taps, and then right leg reaches, and left leg reaches, and release the head back to the mat. We're going to do that series twice more. Lift the upper body, tap one foot, the other foot, straighten one leg, and the other leg, and then release your head back down. Good, let's do that one more time. Little scoop up, tap, and then straighten one leg and the other leg, and then resting your head down into the mat. Just allow your head, your neck to release by little turns side to side, and then coming back into center. We're going to lift those legs back up again. So again, engaging those abdominals, raising one leg up to your tabletop, other leg to tabletop, and then scooping the upper body back up. Extend one leg and then the other leg. So this one has a little bit more flow as you reach the legs out on that diagonal. You can also lower the arms down by your side if you feel like you want a little bit more of a challenge for those abdominals. Reaching, exhaling, exhaling. Good. Hands under the head and then release down. Now we're going to add a little rotation of our upper bodies now. Let's lift your upper body and you're going to rotate towards your bent knee. Same leg movement as previous exercise. Keep the elbows nice and wide here as you turn and turn. Don't push the back of the head forward. Keep the head heavy in your hands. Good twist. Up and over. You rotate and scoop and then release back down. Well done. You should feel those abdominals. Give your lower back a little release. Feet will go back to hip distance. We're going to roll up into our shoulder bridge. And then as you exhale, slowly roll back down, releasing to neutral. So roll up one vertebra at a time, creating a straight line from your shoulders, hips to your knees. Breathe out again and lift. And roll one vertebra down back to neutral. Exhale up. And on this last one, you're going to raise your right leg up into a tabletop. Try not to let your bottom drop here as you tap the foot down and then lift the other leg. Foot goes down, raise the other leg. So we're alternating between right and left leg lifts without letting the hips drop. Really good for working into those glutes, the back line of your body. Keeping the pelvis nice and level. Fold the knee in, place the foot down, knee folds in, place the foot down. Left side and lower, and the right leg stays lifted, and then try and lower and lift your hips with that right leg still lifted. You lower down in one piece. Think of lowering in neutral. Little push through that left foot, bottom back of the leg to lift the hips up. Lower that right leg. Let's try that on the left side. Pelvis is square. You lower and lift, down and up. Try to keep the pelvis nice and level. Using the exhale to help you lift and lower on the inhale. Up you come to lift and lower. Well done. Slowly take your time and release. Just seeing if there's any little difference feelings between your right and your left side. And stretch out the arms, wrap them across the body to release the upper mid-back, any tension again in your neck and your shoulders. And then when you're ready, you're going to come up to sit. Again, your feet will be hip distance apart here. You're going to practice just rolling gently backwards off the sitting bones, creating almost like a little lumbar curve where you feel like you're scooping your tailbone under as you roll back and then coming up to neutral. If you can prefer, you can place your hands behind your thighs. This will give you an extra little bit of support if it feels too much with your arms reaching. And you can stay with this one if that's what you prefer. A little roll back and back up to sit neutral. Now we're going to reach the arms forward. You dive over the legs. Try gently to roll backwards off the sitting bones and dive forward back over the legs. Breathe to roll back. Easy to come forward. Try turning the palms up here as you roll back. It gives you a nice feeling of opening up your rib cage and your collarbones. Let's roll back now. Give yourself a little challenge. Raise the arms and then keep them raised as you dive back over the legs. If this is too much, you can always just keep your arms low in line with your shoulders or keep the hands behind your thigh bones. Otherwise, up you go with your arms and dive forward over the legs. Good challenge for those abdominals, those deeper oblique muscles. Lift the arms. Over you go. And then release. Arms up. Over the legs. Exhale, a little roll back. Arms up. And reach back over the legs. Well done. That's a good challenge for those abdominals. Let's come to sit now. Cross-legged if that's comfortable for you, or you can always move up to sit up on a chair if that's more comfortable for your hips, your lower back. A couple of shoulder shrugs here just to again release any tension through the upper body. We're going to go for a spine twist. Let's cross the arms across the chest, slowly turning the torso, taking your head and your eye line with you, rotating as you exhale, grow tall. Let's go to the other side. Think of almost a corkscrew-like feeling. As you rotate, you feel your spine grow. And again, one more time. And then reaching the arms out this time. A little bit more of a challenge when the arms are long. Check your ribs don't flare, and let's turn. Again, taking the arms with you, 2. Turning for 3. Growing tall with every turn. Let's go the other way as you exhale. And turn. And lovely twist. Now we're going to bend one elbow and you're going to rotate towards that bent elbow. It gives you a really nice feeling of working underneath your shoulder blade. Good feeling of twisting into your spine. Let's go the other way again for 3. Good twist, grow tall, 2. And twist to the bent elbow. Let's do one more set of 3 each way. Good, turn, 2. And 3. Reach those arms long. Last set, 3. And 2. And 1. And resting those arms. Well done. Shrug the shoulders. Release the neck here as well. Little bend of the neck side to side. And then gentle turn of the head one way and the other way. And then back into center. Let's have you come to lie on your side now. Again, feel as if your spine is lined up against the edge of the mat so you're nice and straight, and your hips will be stacked one on top of the other, bottom knee bent, top leg lifts. Your hand can stay on your hip or it can go in front of you on the floor. You're just going to kick your leg forwards gently and backwards, keeping the knees straight and avoiding letting that leg drop or lift too high. Try and keep it the same height as it goes forward and back. Good kicks forwards and backwards. Really good for working the outside of that top hip, stabilizing into those glutes. Now, like a rainbow, you tap backwards and forwards, almost going about mat width. If you're on a mat, you can guide your leg to tap in front of the mat, tap behind the mat. Get some good height as it goes over the top, so you really get into that top hip. Tap and tap. Good. Come back into center, straighten the bottom leg. Now both legs will lift together here. Gently lift and lower. Think here of lengthening those legs, drawing the inner thighs together and raise those legs as one. And lower. They don't need to lift too high. And you'll start to feel that good strong leg work. Outside top hip. Little lift and lower. Good. Now, bottom leg is going to come up to meet that top leg. So split the legs, keep the top leg still, up that bottom leg comes. Try and get those thighs to touch, ankles to touch, knees to touch. You're nearly there. Keep lifting that bottom leg and you release. Well done. You'll feel that top side. All right, let's try that all on your other side. So lining your spine up, resting your head on your underarm, bottom knee bent, top leg straight. All right, let's lift that top leg up. And you're going to gently kick that leg forward and backwards. Breathing comfortably. Inhaling, exhaling nicely into the back and the sides of the ribs. As you move that leg forward without letting it drop or lift, keeping it the same height. And let's see if you can feel any difference between your right and left sides. It's always good to balance out your body when we do this single side work. Kicking forward, keeping the leg nice and straight, taking it back, forwards and backwards. Now let's go into that rainbow. You tap forward, go nice and high and tap back. So you're reaching forward, up over the top, tap behind and in front. Behind and in front. Good, nice straight leg. Really get to work in that top hip. Tap and tap. Well done, lovely. Straighten that bottom leg now to meet the top leg. Both legs are lifting together. Sandwich those inner thighs together. Breathe comfortably as you lift the legs and lower. Now really focusing on keeping the upper body relaxed here as well. It's easy to want to try and push through your hands to do this, but try and do this by using your legs, your lower body, your abdominals are strong. Double leg lift. Now bottom leg is going to come up to meet that bottom leg. Inner thighs, bottom leg lifts up and up. Again, doesn't need to be too high, but think of lengthening those legs away from your head. Lift and you release. Well done. Bend those knees in and give yourself a little breather. And you're going to go over and onto your tummy now. Let's have your hands about mat width apart, feet hip distance apart. Forehead resting into the mat and then gently pressing into the hands to lift the upper body, creating that nice long ski slope, if you like, from the tail to the top of the head. Taking your eye line up and forward, and then see if you can challenge. Hold it, raise one hand. Don't let the chest drop here. And then try both hands if you feel comfortable. And then release back down. Let's try and repeat that again. You're going to lift the upper body, keeping the feet down. Raise one hand without letting the chest drop. Other hand. Try both without letting that chest drop. And you release. Well done. Lift the upper body. Try again. Both hands this time. Or you can stay with single arm like we did before. Otherwise, both arms lift. Little challenge for that mid-back strength. Lift and lower. Keeping those legs down, reaching away from the top of the head. Both hands up, both hands down, and release. Well done. Now arms are going to come long down by your sides. Going to get a little bit more into those shoulders. Come up into your dart shape. Now turn. Flip those hands down and up. Down and up. Try and move from the shoulders. This is great for that mid-back. We feel like we're sitting all day. We're rounded in our upper mid-backs. This exercise can really help to release. Let's do that again. Nice lift of the upper body. Keep a nice dart shape and then flip those hands up to the ceiling, down to the mat. Up and down. Lift and down. Good. Up with those palms. Down with those palms. Rotating the shoulder and you release. Well done. Good work for that upper mid-back. Let's sit back now. Release a little into your lumbar spines. Reach the arms forward. Sit back to heels. If that's too much for your knees, you can always come onto your back and just hug your knees gently in towards the chest. We're going to come onto our hands and knees now. Go into a nice easy cat stretch just to release through the spine. Inhale to extend. Exhale to flex. Couple more just to release through that spine. Inhale gently, exhale. And you release. One more time here, good. Nice easy cat stretch and release. Now tucking the toes under, keep the knees under the hips, the hands under the shoulders. See if you can just pick up your knees 2 inches off the mat and hold it. Great stabilizer for the shoulders, the core. Those deep abdominals are firing up as you lift. Try and keep the head lifted. Don't let the head drop. Lower those knees. And again, little pick up of the knees, not too high. And lower. And again, little pick up. Breathe as you lift. Breathe as you lower. Exhale. And inhale. And release. Well done. They are tricky. They are hard work. Let's reach now opposite arm and leg away from the midline. And then you're trying little circles at the hip and at the shoulder. Great coordination this one. Good balance. Tiny little circles up, down, round. And then change the direction of both the arm and the leg. Tiny little circles. 3, 2, and 1, and back into center. Let's try that with the opposite arm and leg. Try little circles. Get the hip and the shoulder. Stabilize everything else. Don't let your pelvis wiggle. Head is still. 3, 2, 1. Change the direction. Little circles. Keep the knees straight, the elbows straight. Tiny little circles, they don't need to be too big. And release back down. Well done. Flex the spine into a cat stretch. And you release. Sit back to heels again if that feels good for you. Big deep breath here. Big deep breath out. And then you're going to come up to sit, almost creating a stretched out diamond shape with your legs. So don't bring the heels in too close towards you. Sit up nice and tall. Gently allow the arms to stretch forward over the legs. You'll get a nice stretch here for your hips. You can always come up to sit on a chair and just gently release through your shoulders if that's enough for you. And then you're going to take the hands behind you and gently stretch open the collarbones of the chest. Let's try it again. Take the arms forward. Easy release over the legs. Hands go behind you, a little bit of pressure into the floor and extend the chest, looking up slightly. And you release. Well done. Let's have the shoulders shrug and release. Take the arms over the head for a big deep breath in through the nose. Split the arms, twist, place one hand onto the knee, one hand behind you on the floor. Inhale again, take the arms up and stretch and twist the other way. Little stretch to release. Let's do one more time. Inhale up, exhale, and you release. Well done. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today for this workout.